Hello there, Wargame enthusiasts. Welcome back to Combat Mission Red Thunder as we dwindle down our mighty plans of world conquest with just 2 tanks remaining and a light infantry action to boot. Basically, our tanks are maneuvering, our infantry is making trouble wherever it can. Unfortunately, the enemy tank over there has withdrawn. Well, it's withdrawing to a place where we could actually benefit from it, provided our Jagdpanzer over here manages to execute this turn correctly and not expose itself to the enemy, which I don't think it does. There's some firing on the left flank that we'll check out in a moment, but it's nothing particularly intriguing. Yeah, various tank units over here, various units over here shooting at various other things. We're withdrawing our infantry over there to a slightly safer position, just in case that's where the fire is coming in. This guy managed to deploy out here. Not the best position ever, but with a bit of luck we should be able to fight these guys. The question is, did they spot us doing that? The answer might be no. They seem to be unaware. They seem to be pointing a slightly different direction, which is good for me. On the other wing, flank or whatever, the enemy has stopped firing at us, so we're backing up to a slightly more defensive position. We don't want to be overexposed with that Panther, and we're firing variously into the forest over there. Hopefully that catches someone, although we don't see exactly who. Oh, there you go. We don't hear that infantry anymore. Or do we? Yeah, anyway, some just random shooting over here. We've got a bit of ammunition to waste. I don't think this Panther will be surviving too much longer. So we can take a couple of pot shots here and there, why not? Yeah. I don't know where the enemy is exactly. In the meantime, our infantry over here got unpinned, so we can put them back onto the Panther. The enemy airplane is circling overhead, which is good and bad. So, generally speaking, the effectiveness of the airplane is about 2/3. So, by that I mean it usually circles around and attacks 2 enemy targets before it catches one of its own targets. So I think now it's the enemy's turn to get fired at by the airplane. Right, I'm a little unhappy about these guys firing indiscriminately, but I don't think they're firing indiscriminately actually, it's just these guys firing over everywhere. Wouldn't mind them firing at this this T-34 over here, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't like the enemy to start firing over here with his tanks though. That would be bad. So I might have to do some finagling here. I don't know, some just sort of what's that called? Some fake movements basically. A little bit of Maskarov can never hurt anybody. Get these guys up, move them out maybe a little bit to the front so he thinks we're advancing. That sort of thing. Maybe get these guys up front and start shooting. And maybe withdraw the other guys. I don't think we'll be catching that enemy tank over here because, well, doesn't seem like we've got the ability to. I'm going to try and figure out whether we can get this guy into a position to fire on these T-34s over here without moving too much. I don't want to be the one that starts to move, that's for sure, but currently I think our turret might be behind the building actually. Well, may or may not be. I don't know, so I might move him up a little tiny bit or something and have him maybe turn around or turn a little bit. Just do very basic stuff. Over here we're going to keep firing at the enemy infantry. Maybe we'll get these guys to get up and get onto the tank. Although they're currently doing some medical jobs on their officer, but I'm not particularly worried about that right now. I imagine the infantry won't be firing at me. Well, they will only be firing at me if I have a commander up through the cupola. So if I'm buttoned, they probably won't be firing. Yep, there we go. We've got some enemy out here. who are hiding. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Some Soviet scouts, it would appear. We've got over here as well somebody firing at us. Where are you? Oh yeah, there we go. Here's a DP machine gun. Just laying waste to whatever it can see, which is mostly our mortars. So we're going to continue withdrawing our mortars. Actually, we've withdrawn some of them. Everyone who wasn't pinned basically got back into the deployment zone. There's some casualties out here, but can't be helped. Yeah, these guys out there. Our forward observer is still okay. Yeah, so very minor movements. Definitely unwinnable at this point, but we're going to give the best account of ourselves we possibly can. So that said, I guess I'll see you guys during the next turn.